lost my credit card. Hey guys, it's Olivia and I'm back with another video. So, you've read the title of this video. I lost my credit card, but luckily somebody gave it back. So this is gonna be a story time. You already know how it ends. I got my credit card back, but it doesn't matter. I'm still telling the story because I went through a whole string of emotions through this, and I would just like to share it with you. But before we get into this week's video, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday. I make anywhere from story times like this to rant videos to how to make money online videos. And with all that being said, let's get into this week's video. So, this is what happened. This was last week, Thursday. So today's Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, 4 days ago. This is what happened. So I drove to school and I actually had a test that day. And so I was running a little bit late. And so when I got to school, I had to pay for parking, blah, blah, blah. And I was in a haste. So in order to pay for parking, you can either use coins or you can use your credit card. I decided to use my credit card because it would be faster than trying to find change when I'm already in a rush because I'm trying to get to this test. Right. So I pay, and then the ticket prints saying like, oh, you've paid until this time. So then I go back to my car, put the ticket on my dashboard, and then I start to walk to class. And while I'm walking to class, I realize that I don't have my credit card in my hand, but like I don't have time to look for it or like to check where I might have put it because I'm running late for this class and I have a test. It's not a regular old class, it is a full-on test, so I have to be there on time. And so what I had thought was when I went back to my car to put the ticket on my dashboard, I thought that maybe I was holding the ticket and my credit card in the same hand, so then when I like slammed the ticket on my dashboard, then maybe I had left my credit card there too, right? So I'm just thinking, oh, my credit card is in my car. So I go to my class, I do my test, the test is over, I walk back to my car and I open it and I look on the dashboard and there's no credit card. So then I look on the passenger seat and like I had my winter jacket, and yes, I had a whole winter jacket. It's still kind of chilly in Canada. It was raining today. I wore my winter jacket today. Yes, I was wearing my winter jacket in June. That is just what Canada is, okay? So I had my winter jacket on the seat, so I was looking in the pockets, and I was looking in every single pocket of my backpack. I'm like, maybe it's at the bottom of my bag. I took out everything out of my backpack. I took out my laptop charger, my phone charger, my earbuds, my notebooks, textbooks, anything that was in my bag, I took it out. And it wasn't there. I looked in the small pockets. I looked everywhere. It wasn't there. I looked on the floor of my car. I looked under the seats. I looked in the trunk, even though I don't know how it could have ended up in the trunk. I looked everywhere. I looked under my car. I looked under other people's car. I retraced my steps. I walked from my car to the point where I had realized that I wasn't holding my card anymore. And I was like looking down all around and I couldn't find it. I was looking for this card for over an hour. I was looking for this card from about 7 until 8:30. I was looking for this card. I looked like a maniac. I was walking the same strip, like the same walkway 20 times. Like I was like, okay, let me walk here and then here and then here. So I kept walking the same spot, but just like a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right because maybe I didn't see it because like my card is green and there's like grass. So I was like, oh, maybe it's blending in with the grass or something. So I was just looking every inch, and then I couldn't find it. So what I decided to do was go onto my phone and check my banking app to see if anybody had used my card. Luckily, nobody had used my card. So I was like, okay, maybe it's not lost. Maybe I just can't find it. Maybe it is somewhere in this car and I just haven't found it. Or maybe it's lost, like maybe it's outside and no one else has found it. As long as no one else is using my card, I'm okay. So then I drove home and I tore my bag apart again, wasn't there. Looked through my car, wasn't there. And then I told my dad, I'm like, guess what happened today? I would have been home an hour and a half ago, except I was looking for my credit card. And then he was like, oh, call the bank, cancel the card, make sure no one uses it. And I was like, I already checked my bank app twice at this point because I checked before I left school and I checked when I got home. And no one had used it. So, and this is another thing. Ooh, back it up. My school has a lost and found, but it's not like a lost and found box like you might have at your high school or elementary school where anyone could just go in and take out whatever they want. The lost and found is like a place. So it's like you go to the person at the front desk and you tell them what you've lost, and then they like verify that it's yours, and you have to like sign that you picked it up. Like it's a whole, the lost and found is a building. The lost and found is not a box. So the lost and found closes at like 5:30, and I had gotten to school, like my class started at 6, so I had gotten to school at like 5:50. So the lost and found was closed before I even lost the card, right? So I was like, I can't go to the lost and found to see if they have it there because 1, they're closed, so it doesn't make sense, and 2, they closed before I lost the card. So if somebody had found the card and they wanted to give it to the lost and found, they couldn't because the lost and found was closed. So I was like, whoever has my card is going to have it at least overnight, and maybe they'll give it to the lost and found the next day. So this was my plan. This was the plan that I had planned. I was like, tomorrow, so on Friday, I am going to call the lost and found, because the lost and found has a number, because the lost and found is not a box, it is a facility. So I'm going to call the lost and found and see if they have it, and if they don't, then I'm going to call the bank and cancel my card and have them send me a new one. So I go to sleep Thursday night, wake up Friday afternoon. I was about to say Friday morning. You know I'm not a morning person. I woke up Friday afternoon and I called the lost and found, and I was like, did anyone drop off a credit card by any chance? And they were like, oh, like what color is it? What company is it? What name does it say on the card? And then I answered all those questions, and they were like, oh yeah, this card was dropped off. And I was like, oh, somebody returned my credit card to the lost and found. And then I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then I hung up, and then I went back onto my banking app to make sure that nobody used it. Like maybe they bought themselves a little thing and then returned to the lost and found. No. The last transaction on my credit card was the parking pass that I had paid for from the day before. So I was like, no one has used my card. A good Samaritan found the card, kept it overnight because they couldn't give it to lost and found because lost and found was closed. They kept it overnight, and then the next day they brought it to the lost and found. That they had that card for over 12 hours and they didn't use it. They're such a good, like, they could have used it. They could have used it in so many ways. Like, but they didn't. They didn't. And I'm so grateful. This wonderful person found my card. I don't know where they found the card. Maybe they found it on the ground. Maybe I left it in the machine after I paid. Honestly, I don't know. But what I do know is that I have my credit card back, and a wonderful human, a wonderful moral human, found the card, kept it overnight, and then gave it to the lost and found. So I don't have class on Fridays, and my school is not close to my house. So I was legit debating, like, driving to school just to get the card, even though, like, it was in safe hands. It was at the lost and found. No one's going to use it at this point. I know that it's safe, but, like, I just wanted it back. So I was considering going to school specifically to pick up the card. And then my dad was like, why are you going to waste that gas? Why are you going to put miles on your car? Just wait till Monday till you have school. So I didn't have my credit card Thursday after I had lost it. So I didn't have it Thursday night. I didn't have it all of Friday. I didn't have it all of Saturday. I didn't have it all of Sunday. And then today I went to school at around noon, even though I don't have class until 6 p.m., but I went to track practice today. So I went to school around noon. I went to the lost and found, and then they like asked me the same questions over again, and I showed them my ID to prove that it was me. That rhymed. Yeah. And then I got my credit card back. So now I am in possession of my credit card. And it just feels good. Like, you don't understand the fear that was going through me when I realized that I lost the card. Like, the first fear was like when I realized it wasn't in my hand. And then I was like, oh no, Olivia, you're good with your stuff. You probably just left it in the car when you put the ticket on the dash. So then for the whole time I'm writing my test, I'm like, yeah, it's in my car. It's in my car. I'm fine. Get back to my car. It's not there. And then I freaked out because I'm like, well, let's say I dropped it on the floor, or let's say I left it in the machine. Well, then it's been in that spot for the last hour and a half while I'm writing a test, right? So I was like, I should have just turned back. But it all worked out. So that is the story of the time I lost my credit card, but I got it back and nobody spent any of my money. I hope you enjoyed this story. I didn't enjoy living it. Well, most of it. I enjoyed the part where I found out that my credit card was safe, and I especially enjoyed the part where I got my credit card back. But like that, like overnight of not knowing where my card was, yeah, I didn't enjoy living through that part. But I hope you enjoyed my retelling of the story. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you think your friends will enjoy it, be sure to share it with them. All my social media links will be down below in case you want to follow me on there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday, and I'll see you next Monday with a new video.